my, okay, we're on.
Your email is just hit 15.
My newsletter list. It's at 20, Lorna.
We're live.
We're live. Lorna's making saucy jokes. Hi, everybody. It's Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio. I'm Deanne Fitzpatrick, and we are live today on Thursday, May 27th. And it's always nice to be here. I look forward to it. You give me a reason to get cleaned up and fixed up. Come down and see ya. So I've been working from home a lot in the morning at the studio. Today we're going to talk about some of the new workshops that we have planned. We're going to talk about the crayon box is now available again. I'll show you that. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our new Tuesday newsletter, and I'm interested to see what you thought of it. And I've been thinking for a while about adding a second newsletter through the week, and different than my Sunday letters. And so we just added that on this Tuesday. Angela made it and made it really beautiful. And I gave her the stuff that I thought was relevant. And so today, let's have a look at what we're doing with the abstract rug, because we talked about the Bay of Fundy rug, which is over here, and so I've been spending a lot of time on the marsh. I'm really loving this rug. I went to the marsh over and over and over again, and I never noticed that little black and white church, the little building in Manuti that you can see, and I just was surprised. So I've made that rug twice now, two variations of it. I'm really loving this sky, this sort of. To me, it kind of looks, I don't know, it kind of looks like a design in a design more than the sky. And sometimes someone will say, well, I like this or I don't like that. It doesn't matter if someone likes it or doesn't like it when you're making things. What's really important is that it's working for you, right? Don't worry about when you're making your rug. Don't worry if the person sitting next to you or your husband or your brother or whoever, your sister likes it. Worry about if you like it, and that's how you'll grow. So I am here now. I have to be careful with all these wools because I'd asked Kaylee to tell me the names of these wools because sometimes I don't name that, and she named 3 of them for me, and then she went and named them all. So I can show you all the rugs that I'm working in this. So we started here. I just want to show you this right here, the circles. I really love these little circles and this beige kind of tan color. Now I didn't have enough of it, so when I went over here, I just switched my tans. And so now I am going to show you what I'm working on now, which is the water area. So these are different yarns that we use during this workshop. This is a yarn during this class that we do on Thursdays. This yarn is called Wave, and it's a new yarn in the studio. It's one of our hand-dyed. It's really beautiful. And this one that we use quite a bit throughout this is called Lagoon. This one is Verde Azul, and it's a Rasta. The Rasta yarns are really expensive, but they're really worth it. I use also Briggs & Little, $8.95. Great yarn in the navy. I'm using Slubby, a navy, it's called Ocean. And I'm using a Mash and Boucle, and it's called Cold Sea. And I'm also using Azul Profundo, which is a Rasta. So, Angela, there's another one here. I used a lot of Merino Floof in the Raven. And this is a Cascade, and it's called Limoncello. So we use that over here underneath. So those are the yarns, and I know that when I start hooking, a lot of times you want to know the yarns. So what I did in here for the water so far is I kind of repeated a motif. And it's kind of the same motif here. It's kind of a seed pod motif. And I repeated that in the water for a change. I just wanted to do my water a little bit differently. Uh-oh, my frame popped. There we go. Tighten that up for myself. Oh, lovely. Popped on the other side too. we were fooling around with the Shetty Camp gears before the class, Joe and I. All right, for our Thursday Live. Okay, so I've got this one area over here, and what I've done is I've kind of drawn seed pods in the water, and then I'm using this yarn, which is, oh, what is it called? That's the Mash and Boucle. Well, I told you earlier, you're going to have to skip back because I'm bad. Sorry. It's not always on the tip of my tongue because I use so many different yarns. So what I've done is I've outlined them kind of in a royal blue with a light blue, and then I'm filling in these areas. Now, I don't have any idea right now whether this is going to work out or not. I have no clue, really, and I think that's just the best, to just go in there unsure, without any proof. There's no proof that this will be beautiful. I'm just doing my best. And I really encourage you to be that way too. So one of the favorite things that I do each day is I check the Harbor Facebook page. And the Harbor Facebook page is one of the things, it's the community that comes with our Harbor class. Now, it's not available right now, and that's the wrong yarn. It won't be available until next December. But it is one of my favorite things that I do each day because I see a lot of really creative people expressing themselves through their rug hooking there. And they're people who've taken a lot of courses with me. And one of the things I love about it is that I see their work grow over time. And it just, to me, that's what making is about. It's so much about how we learn about ourselves, and that we take time for ourselves to grow, because we sit with ourselves. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch. I have some more pods that I've kind of created in the water, and I'm going to switch this yarn. And so I've worked with this one here, which is the Rasta, right here. I'm going to take that off now because I feel like I've got enough of that on here right now, at least until I turn the frame. Okay, I'm going to move that. Now I'm going to bring in this yarn, which is the hand-dyed wave, and I had Angie draw do this up for us this week so that so that Greg could make up kits for the Jean Oliver workshop, which I see some of you signed up for. Jean said we've got quite a few registrations, and I'm excited that you are going to take that workshop. It opens in July. So now this one has a big hunk of olive in mix with the blue. And I really like the way it hooks up. Getting lots of hooking done today. And then I'm going to show you one of my new rugs. I posted it on Instagram yesterday. The one thing I do want to encourage you to do is I will encourage you to go online, go to our website, and sign up for our newsletter, because we've started a new newsletter, as well as we'll still continue to send our Sunday letters. But we started a new newsletter. Angela has put it together, a beautiful template, and each week I'm going to be sending you an email about what inspires us and what I'm inspired by. Maybe what I'm learning, what I'm reading. We used to do a newsletter like that a long time ago when Georgina worked here. That was quite a while ago. So I want you to be encouraged and to know what kinds of things that we're seeing and doing in the studio. So like this week we included a great potter that we like, and sometimes we might include a recipe. We didn't this week. What else did we put in there this week, Angela?
Well, there's some comments about the band photo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like the band photo.
Yeah, my friend Catherine likes to take pictures when we're out on walks, and we go on walks quite a bit. So, yeah, that was my rock band photo. Today I sang happy birthday to somebody. I actually sang happy birthday to a musician. I forgot he was a musician before I started singing. I probably wouldn't have. But anyway, that's
I
all.
like that you talked about Hopper. I miss him.
Oh, in the Sunday newsletter. Yeah, I know. This is Sunday. So in our Sunday newsletter this week, we talked a lot about wisdom. I talked about my friend Carol Oram and just Lorna and Hopper loved each other, didn't you, Lorna?
I miss him. I miss
Yeah, yeah. He is over 90, and he just kept hopping around all that time. So now I'm going to take this off the frame just because I need some room, and now I have to decide. So yeah, I think that his wisdom was he kept moving. We talked about Travis's wisdom in the newsletter. That's the Sunday newsletter. So if you're not on the newsletter, please do sign up. All our prizes and everything, we always encourage you to be on the newsletter because we always that's where we often draw from.
So if they get the Sunday letter, do they automatically get the Tuesday?
Yeah, they automatically get the Tuesday. And every once in a while, someone gets booted off the newsletter, and they email us and say, hey, I don't know why. So now I'm going to open this Masham boucle in this navy, because I'm loving the boucle, right? I'm all about the boucle. We put that in the Tuesday newsletter in a pink color. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the navy in around this. Yes, you automatically get it if you're on it. And then on Thursday, I used to resend the newsletter, the Sunday newsletter, to people who hadn't opened. But I think I'm going to stop doing that and just give you something fresher and newer with the Tuesday newsletter.
Paula said the newsletter is her Sunday go-to.
It's your Sunday go-to.
That's really nice.
Great, thank you. So now I'm going to add some of this deep navy in here. And I'm just going to try it and see. And I don't know if it's going to be too dark. Let's try it. So what happens is, because I've created kind of pods here, I end up with more pod shapes as the background. So what was the other navy? Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Here it is. I want this one in here because it's a slubby, and it's a little bit lighter. So rather than just pop a dark navy C in here, which is going to be quite a bit deeper than the C you see in this, even though it's kind of inspired by that rug, this rug. This rug is so different, but it is still inspired by that rug. Okay, so now I'm going to take the slubby. I love slub the way it hooks up thick and thin, and I'm going to mix it with the Masham. And this is like, okay, it's a little bit of texture overload, but you can do that once in a while. I like that.
Were you using one or two strands of the boucle?
One strand of the boucle. It's really, really fluffy yarn. One strand of the boucle. So you guys, this year I discovered, isn't that pretty? This year I discovered that I want to teach more than anything. That's what I love to do. Well, not maybe more than making rugs, but with you guys in the coming year and year and a half, I want to teach. And it's still going to be a lot of teaching online for us now, but I think one of the things that I learned since last May, when I made design school for the first time, I realized that I have a lot that I want to get out of me and that I want other people to be making. And so you are going to be hearing a lot about what we're teaching, and that's going to be a primary focus of the studio in the coming years. It's really important to me. I think it's important to you, Angela, and I think we're going to be doing a lot of stuff together. And I'm just so excited about what's happened with the people who've taken the harbor last year and are doing it again. They get it free again this year to do it again with the new content even. And the people who have just started it this year, like, I'm just so, I don't know, I just feel like that through teaching, I'm more fulfilled. it's interesting, and I'm also more creative. Oh, look, he brought in Lily of the Valley too. I hadn't seen that. Did you guys want to show them? So, yeah, that just caught my eye. The little Lily of the Valley over there. Isn't that forget-me-nots? So, that's what I want to do in the next year. I'm going to be focusing on more online teaching and sharing more courses online. So you're going to keep seeing them. And, I don't want to bore you to death or anything, but that's who we are as a studio. That's a big part of our mandate, what we think is important, what I think is important. I think what Angela thinks is important. I mean, we're kind of planning it together. Mm-hmm. And we have a new employee coming on because Kaylee is going off to live her one wild and precious life.
If we let her go.
If we let her go. We're not sure about that yet. We just may just sort of try and convince her to stay, but we can't. We don't think. So with her, we have a new employee coming, and you can listen to our podcast if you want to hear more about that new employee. She's going to be working with us. And Angela and I said today, we haven't talked to the new employee yet, but we want to plan like a retreat where we plan what's coming up and what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be focusing on, because we're so excited about, I'm so excited. Like I said to Angela today, I don't know what to teach next. I just don't know. I don't know where to. So what if we were asking you what to teach next? Because I'm probably going to send out a little email about that. Just tell us anything you want to learn. We listened to what you said, and we created the Wednesday live workshops. So we have a series of live workshops that I announced today. I sent out an email, so it's in your inbox. Look at that. Look at that blue. I know I'm all over the place here, but I can't stop. Can't stop looking. Look at that blue. Look how this is shining in the sea. These pods are shining in the sea. So the Wednesday workshop is a series of live workshops, and it's the last Wednesday in June. And then we're taking the summer, we're having the Jean Oliver workshop, and we're going to have that beautiful free workshop for you on creativity. Then in September, the last Wednesday of September, the last Wednesday of October, and the last Wednesday of November, which is the day before Thanksgiving. Someone mentioned in the States, which we didn't realize because we're on a different calendar here in Canada. But we're still going to do it. It's going to be the last Wednesday, and it's in the morning. And there will be time in those workshops. We're going to focus on a certain technique. So it'll be kind of like the Caribou Workshop or the Winter Webinar. I think they're $59 each. But if you buy all four of them, they're $199 if you buy them together. There are kits if you want kits. But each workshop comes with the pattern that's downloadable. So you can just take it and do your own thing with it. And it's going to be live, and we're going to be working with you directly. I'm going to be, not we, I'm going to be working with you directly through Zoom for those live workshops, and I'm excited about them. So this is a new series that we're doing, and you can pick one of them. On Wednesday, and the last Wednesday in June, we're doing kitchen flowers. So that will be really fun. I know it will be really fun. And it'll be full of blooms. And they're kind of like this, right? Joe brought this in today. He was out in his garden last night, and we've got lilacs and apple blossoms.
Dan, can you move them over here? Sorry.
Yeah, you want me to bring them out of the light? So in Wednesday we're doing. So on the last Wednesday we're doing kitchen flowers, which is our pattern is kind of more like cosmos, sort of, but it's in a vase, very much like this. Oh my gosh, those are beautiful. Anyway, so that's our first Wednesday workshop. Oh, there's a little mosquito flying around in there. Or some kind of little bug. So that will be our first Wednesday workshop, and that series is going to be going on the last Wednesday in September, the last Wednesday in October, and the last Wednesday in November. And I think each class is about 2.5 hours. So if you want to spend a couple hours with me and hang out and hook, then that would be great. I'd love to have you there. Okay.
They really are a lot of fun.
Oh, they are. The Zooms are full of life.
Everybody is so awesome. It's such a fun time.
Yeah. And we're going to have small group breakouts during that time so that you'll get to meet people from around North America and hook with them for a little bit during the workshop. We're going to do that each one, are we, Angela? Have small group breakouts?
I think so, yeah.
I think it'll be fun. So now I'm bringing in the boucle again. And see how I did with this with the boucle here was I used the boucle to sort of find a space to kind of create another pod. And that's what I'm going to do with the boucle again. So when I'm digging right in, and I'm going to create another pod here. And then after that, we must be running out of time probably.
10 minutes.
We got 8 minutes.
We got 8 minutes. So we're live on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time. And I did something helpful this week. I think it's helpful. I never even showed Angela yet. But I set up at the front of our website, right on hookingrugs.com, I put lives because people were having trouble finding us afterwards. And that'll take you right to the Wool Cake blog. So do you think I should introduce a third yarn in here in the background? Or do I have enough? See, this is the thing. I think I have enough. Well, I don't know. This is pretty beautiful. I almost can't resist it. But we'll see. This is the azules in the Rasta. Yeah, I just can't resist it. It's too nice. And I just figure, like, the way I hook, I believe that if I think something's going to add to the rug, then I just use it.
I'd like to know the difference between brule and slub.
Between what?
Brule and slub.
Brule.
Or, what you call it? Boucle?
Boucle and slub. So that's a good question. Slub is thick and thin. So it goes thick, and then it goes skinny, then it goes thick, and then it goes skinny. Boucle is bubbly all the way. Bubbly, 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 bubbly. Yeah, just like that. So that's the difference. So yeah, so this adds it also adds another shade in here. You see what's happened? So these three navies, three really gorgeous navy yarns. I'm glad I added the third one. This has a kind of a teal effect. So I think that adds a lot to this water. Now I think it's time for me to step back from this a little bit. And have a good look. So stepping back from your work is a great way to see it. And you also might want to take a picture of it with your camera. That's another option. So I can see from stepping back from it that I need more slub. I need to spread the slub around a little bit. So I'm going to just take 3 strands of slub, and I'm going to bring it over here just to see what I can do with it.
You were asking what people would like to see?
Yeah.
You said like a live Q&A.
A live Q&A. Huh. You'd like a live Q&A. Well, couldn't we do that on, I wish we could do that on Facebook. Because we could take a Thursday and turn it into a live Q&A. Thank you. Anything else that people want to see? Anything else you want to see us focus on in our teaching in the next year?
I had hooking animals, hooking lily
Yep.
in the valley.
Pretty. Yeah. Great. So that's why we are doing the Wednesday Zooms, because we can take a small topic like hooking lily of the valley, right? Hooking animals is a big topic, right? But hooking lily of the valley is it's like kitchen flowers, you know? It's just one thing that we can focus on and we can really hone in on in the 2 hours. So we're going to see how this series goes, because we're doing all kinds of little things in this series.
Marie wants people and faces, which
And
I believe is one of the
Is
Zooms.
part of the Zooms. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the Wednesday Zooms, Marie. So your questions are answered.
Finding inspiration, maybe look at your hand below the frame.
Yeah, well, we can do that right now if you want.
Dogs.
Dogs, yeah. I like that idea. Composition. Wow. These are great ideas, you guys.
Mermaids.
Oh, mermaids would be fun. That would be a
Yeah.
perfect Wednesday Zoom, just the right amount. Okay, now I have another question for you. So, us rug hookers, we're kind of like philosophers, right? Aren't we, all of us? We just sit and we hook and we think and we yak to each other and we talk. And, if you sit and hook a lot, you're going to think things. So what I want to know right now, I want you to type in your wisdom. Tell me something, because we talked about the Sunday newsletter and the Tuesday newsletter, and in the Sunday letter we talked about people's wisdom and how people have different kinds of wisdom. So it doesn't have to be your personal wisdom, because I don't think we always know our personal wisdom. But tell me some, it can be, if you want to share that, but tell me some of the wisdom that's around you. Who do you know who's wise, and why are they wise? Can you type that in a comment?
And the Wednesday Zoom, you said it's online, right?
The Wednesday Zoom, everything is online. For 2021 in Canada, we're only planning online. That's all we're able to plan here in Nova Scotia right now. We are still having to be very careful, and we're watching, even though our cases are declining some, and we're grateful for that, and people are getting vaccinated. But we are definitely going to be just planning online for 2021. Yeah, we'll see after that. And then after that, maybe we'll rent a hall and have a big do someday, but we haven't got a plan yet, do we?
The Wednesday Zoom is just like you have to go online and join.
Yeah, you'll get a link. We email you a link with the Zooms, and you just join the course. And we're going to record them too, so that you can get a recording of it. All right, I'm putting in more boucle before I go today. I'm so happy that you're with me. I look forward to every Thursday. I get a lot of joy in teaching you some little thing. So I guess today I was teaching you about, well, we're still working on this abstract. Like, we're going to be working on this together for a while. It's a big rug. I'm not going to finish this tonight. So I talked about the pod shapes, because you see a lot of pod shapes in nature, and how that got repeated here. And we talked about repeating motifs. And now we've left the browns and gone into the blues, but you'll still see there's some brown, there's some bronze kind of in these blues, and there's some brown in these blues. And so I'm going to finish up these blues probably this week, and I don't know what we'll be working on next week. We may even have made a turn, because we did make a turn this week. So before we leave, I want to show you a new rug that I made, and I think I was supposed to do something else. I'm wanting to hear about your wisdom. Any wisdom out there?
Somebody said be patient with yourself.
No,
And
that's good.
Someone else said find something to do that centers you and brings you up when you're down.
That's really important, right? It's really, really important that finding something that centers you and brings you up when you're down. I'm reading a really good book now, and I'll put it in one of the Tuesday newsletters. That he talked about that this morning too, that we need that thing. Angela, any wisdom from our Facebook friends?
Well, apparently Krista thinks Lorna is wise.
Lorna is wise.
She is wise.
I would say Lorna is wise. She kind of thinks she's wise too sometimes.
She does.
No, she doesn't. Not really. She's great. Lorna's great. But Lorna is wise. What do you find wise about Lorna, Krista? That's what I want to know.
Today, Krista, not next week.
Gotta give anybody else tell us any wisdom on Facebook?
Savor the peace you have.
Savor the peace you have. I like that. Isn't that beautiful? Savor the peace you have. And we have to do that. We have to savor the peace the peace that we get when we get a little bit of it. Just to love it. To know it. You got to know what you got.
Yeah, because Paula says love yourself, and that's really hard for women especially.
I think it is. Paula
It's a
says
big
love
thing to work
yourself.
It's a
Yeah.
big one to work on, I think.
Okay. Anything else on from the
Oh.
Facebook? Oh, we got
I
something.
got a shock look from Krista.
You got a shock look from Krista.
She's like, oh my gosh.
I'll tell you how Lorna's wise. Lorna has a lot of common sense.
She certainly helped me, especially with my finances.
Yeah, she's good with money, isn't she?
She is.
She
She
does
taught
her
me a
books,
lot.
so that's a good thing. But she is good with money, and she knows, and she's not a spendthrift. She's very sensible.
Yep.
She does buy herself nice clothes now, though, which is great. So I want to show you this rug that I made. And it's not framed yet. We're about to frame it right here, and it's just hanging here now. And it's kind of like, I love the magnolia buds, we don't see a lot of them around here, but we have a few trees, and I always notice them. And it says at the bottom, and the hatches are battened with the limited knowledge of the heart. And I just want to ask you what that means to you. And the hatches are battened with the limited knowledge of the heart. Does anyone have anything to say about that before we wrap up today's Thursday Live?
Be comfortable with yourself and enjoy your own company.
Be comfortable with yourself and enjoy your own company. Great. Anybody else? Does anyone feel that, like, your heart has a limited knowledge? Do you guys feel that at all? Like, I trust my gut, but sometimes my heart, I don't know. It's sort of, they're different. Are they different things? I guess. I don't have an answer for this. I don't know what that means. I just made that rug, and those were the words that came to me. And the hatches are battened with the limited knowledge of the heart.
Connie says your heart guides you.
Your heart guides you? Yep.
Sometimes in the wrong direction.
The limited knowledge
There you
of
go.
the heart.
And then you learn.
Connie. Is that
There
Connie?
it is.
Is that Connie Hickman LaRue, or who's that,
Oh,
Connie?
I
You lost that
I
one.
lost it, sorry.
Isn't that nice? So that your heart guides you, but sometimes in the wrong direction. So what I want to tell you is that I wrote this without really fully understanding what it meant, but it felt right.
Nan Becker, your heart's knowledge will guide and protect you.
Your heart's knowledge will guide and protect you. Even though that knowledge is limited? I don't know. That's interesting. Anybody from Instagram have anything to say?
Are battered hatches good?
Yeah, they are good and bad. See, that's the thing. When the hatches are battened, well, if there's a storm pending, it's nice to have your hatches battened, right? Right? That's like the thing to your basement, right? So it's good to be ready, right? But they're not always good, because sometimes it can mean that you're closed up because of the limited knowledge of the heart. Possibly. I don't know. But what I want you to think about is just the fact that if sometimes words, like if you're going to write something in a rug, it might as well be something to think about and something interesting and something that gets you going, right? Like if you look at over there, I traveled so far only to find was what I was looking for was what I left behind. And that was a quote I read somewhere. I think it was about a man who climbed Mount Everest. And I've searched the internet looking for who wrote it, and I don't know. And I didn't quote it word for word. But the whole idea of sometimes we're headed out places, and, you know, it's only when you get home that you realize that is just where you want it to be. So I love that sentence, but I don't fully understand it. And that's just me. But I wrote it anyway, and I spent 2 weeks hooking it. And maybe I'm foolish, but that's me. That's me. That's what our studio is all about. It's just sort of using artwork to explore ideas and thoughts.
This here is a good thought. So, limited knowledge may cause us to batten hatches prematurely.
Oh, I like that.
That's interesting.
Limited knowledge may cause us. And there's a truth in that for sure. Thank you, folks, for helping me clarify what I'm thinking and understanding. I love that. Who said that?
I don't know.
Can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell. And somebody else said, I think you have to unbatten your hatches to open your heart.
I think you do a little bit. You have to unbatten your hatches a bit. But, so the limited, what we're coming to is that the limited knowledge of the heart is a good thing, and the limited knowledge of the heart is a difficult thing, and that hatches battened are a good thing, and that hatches battened are a bad thing.
Maxine said you could write a whole newsletter on this.
You could write a whole newsletter on this. I'll get at it. Maybe that's Sunday. Maybe that's the Sunday news. I got to write one. I got to write a letter. So thanks everybody for being with me this week. Thanks Lorna and Angela, two of my good, soulful friends and people that I like to spend time with.
I just
Yeah.
want to say, I hope Krista Rose has a great birthday on Sunday.
Ah, Krista Rose. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Krista. Happy birthday to you. Krista watches every week. See you guys.